Welcome, welcome, welcome to Liverpool 12th Man Show, and I am joined by the Irishman, and we might have some very, very welcome and very, very important guests to join us pretty soon here. Big up to Edward, big up to Lee WizKid in the house. Lee, I hope that you're doing well, brother. Hope that you're doing well. As well as Edward, I hope that you're doing well too. But we are in the weekend, and it's still no Reds to watch, but still the same. It's international play that we're watching. A lot of international play, actually. Important matchups, like I said earlier this week, which a lot of the games being World Cup qualifiers. For most teams, not for obviously for Team Canada or Mexico or even my home country of U.S. men's national team. So 8 days, yes, it's 8 days and counting for sure, Edward. That's how I'm looking at it. Irishman, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I broke my golden rule. I've done 2 streams in 1 day, so I'm a bit YouTubed out, but I'm sure I'll wake back up in a minute.
Did you have
everybody in already?
Yeah, I was gonna say you did a quiz, right? You did a quiz or debate show.
Sideline did a debate show. 2 people I've never met before, which was really, really cool. Anthrob and Gally, the American Scouser from the Boston area, Springfield, Massachusetts type area.
Okay.
They were on. It was like kind of like a debate, and then the second half it was one of those play online type quiz things, where everybody got the same question, and you have to hit it the fastest and all that. Just 10 questions, so a bit of fun at the end.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's cool.
2 good guys.
Yeah, that's super cool. How'd you do?
I won.
Or should we save it for those that watch and everything else? Oh, big up, you got Ant in the house.
Yeah. No, I won it. I won the quiz.
Oh, it's nice representing for the channel. I appreciate
that.
Yeah,
and I have it. One of the lads, Anthrop, has posted it up, and he's attached your name to his post because I just said I'm on your channel. But if you see it up there, that's why it's up there. Just in case you're wondering.
Yeah, you are definitely. Big up on the victory, and definitely big up on representing.
Yeah, doing it for
big up to,
Hey, look, big up. Yeah, and nice to see you, man. Nice to see your back. I wish you were back on YouTube there.
Yeah, I'd love to hear some of the thoughts. I mean, Leicester it's been a real bit of a roller coaster year for them. So it's been I'd love to hear what his take so far of how is this year going like he planned, or is it disappointing, or is it openly optimistic? So
yeah, it's a good chunk of the season so far to be able to judge enough. It's second international break. This is usually the peak manager sacking period. The second international break is if a manager is going to get sacked, it's to give a new manager comes in. So nobody's gone yet. Mm-hmm. So everybody seems to be pretty comfortable with their choices. There doesn't seem to be anybody out there, that's like, one apart from Ten Hag, but that's all just noise anyway. Other than him, everyone else seems to be pretty secure. But Ant is saying Steve Cooper is holding us back, in my opinion. Loads of fans already turned on him. Yeah, there you go. Look, we said it at the start of the season. He's going there straight from Forest.
Easy. It's not easy.
But he's going there. Yeah, but he's going there. The ex-Forest manager said he was always kind of on an upslope with the fans. It didn't take much, but yeah. Well, there you go. Well, at least you're back in the top side, aren't
you? Yeah. Someone that we're definitely happy to have back, and is with us today too. I'm gonna bring him in right now. Big up to Lee. What is up?
Evening, Lee.
Did you get a new cut or something? You got a new haircut or something?
No, it's just
It's
combed
like
a little bit
combed
differently.
it differently.
So yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Trying to impress the lady, trying to make Tracy jealous.
yeah, yeah. Still, yeah, still slugging away at that.
Yeah, I bet. Big up, big up, big up.
Yeah,
Yes,
good to see you, man.
definitely. Yeah, getting showing love too. What's up? What's up? That's really dope.
Hi, Fozzie. Hi, Bernie.
You're saying hello to Ali. Um, yeah, big up. Oh, big up. Fozzie's in the house. Big up, Fozzie. If I'd known you're available, Fozzie, I would have brought you on, definitely. And if you are available, I mean, yeah, hit me up if you want to join the conversation, because we're going to have a conversation today about. I was originally going to call this "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" I don't know. I don't think I would have got copyright for it or not, but you never know. And also just because a lot of the internationals that I've seen, like we have some news about some players that are returning to the club. We have also some news about some players that we're interested in targeting, and we also just have. I have a little fun little thing at the end of the episode here to do to kind of go into as well, but I definitely wanted to like get a kind of a read on what everything's going on. I guess we could start off the day with the news of the day, which is the early return of both Roger Van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. And also, oh, no worries, Fozzie. I know you work the night shift. I work the night shift too, brother, so I definitely understand that. And Curtis Jones, actually, is going to be returning as well. News about Curtis Jones, excuse me, was is just simply Curtis Jones is dealing with a personal matter. It has to be something. It has to be something important, at least. It has to be certainly something important, obviously, for him to be giving up an opportunity, possibly, to get a cap with the English team, national team, and it definitely has to be something important because I know that he doesn't play Saka's role. I know Saka is out as well, but I mean, like, maybe they might, shuffle the lineup a little bit or figure out a way to get him into the lineup if he was going to be available, but he's no longer going to be there. Virgil's coming home because of, obviously, because of the red card, and he won't be with the team. And Mohamed Salah, I don't have. Let me see if I can find why he was leaving. Why he's coming back early? I didn't see why they said. So Salah's return. Recent form. So. Blah, blah, blah. Van Dijk's suspension after the red card means he won't be available for the Netherlands next match, while Salah's early release allows him to focus on recovering for upcoming club duties. It doesn't give the reason why. I didn't get the reason why he's returning.
Sometimes maybe it's just like the match isn't that hard, the match they've got to play, and they think they can do it without him.
Yeah, I mean
was
that. It's interesting. I mean, it might be on the road. I guess maybe it's a match on the road or something like that. Because like normally, Egypt is very, very conscious of the fact that Salah is their moneymaker when it comes to bringing in people and interest in the game. So maybe it must be a road match. I'd have to look.
Maybe it's a dead rubber. That's what I don't know the state of play in. I was just thinking if it's a dead rubber match, maybe. Or like the only other reason would be injury, unless because they would have said like Curtis if it was like maybe Curtis's auntie has died or his sister or his girlfriend's having a baby or something like that. That's a personal reason. So typical usual stuff. But Mo to have like no kind of be just Mo's just gone back. There must be an obvious reason for it. But yeah, the old personal reason usually means it's birth, deaths, or marriages, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something. It's obviously something important, like something related to his family, something personal on that level. It is the Egypt. It is a qualification game, which is why it's interesting. Okay. They might be already qualified. It says here Africa Cup of Nations qualification. They're going against Mauritania.
Mauritania.
Mauritania. Yes.
Mauritania.
Let me see if I can find out what their standing is. Their standings in the group. They're already. Oh yeah, no doubt. They're 9 points in the group. They're well clear of second place.
I'm hoping that's what it
Verde
is, that they just sort of doing us a solid, like saying sorry about getting them injured.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we let it go early.
Yeah, they play Mauritania, and Mauritania's only on 3. All the rest of the teams in their group are sitting on 3 points. They've played 3 games. Egypt has won all 3 games. They have 9 points already. So they must look at it as they've already solidified themselves in the group. And on top of that, the group isn't exactly the hardest of groups. Like Cape Verde and Botswana are in the group.
I'm quite interested in the reason why Curtis has come home early, because he has been waiting to get his chance. He's played a lot for the other England sides, under 18 and under 21. So he's waiting to get in there for the full side, like. And I heard you saying that, like, maybe or somebody was saying about international football probably suits his style better because you get a bit more time on the ball.
Yeah.
I know he wants to get in there with the full team, and he will get capped.
Absolutely.
Because there isn't an overabundance of central midfielders. England have got quite a few, but they haven't just got like loads and loads and loads. He will get his chance, like, eventually.
Yeah, it is interesting. Also on top of that, it unfortunately kind of goes hand in hand with Cujo's career, in the sense of just something unfortunate happening, at the wrong time, basically. Like, whether it's like some type of like knock that he picks up, or like weird knock, an eye injury or something like that.
Yeah, that was the one really bizarre one, wasn't it? His eye injury, and he was out for like 4 months or something.
Oh, KJ's got an answer for us.
Yeah, there you go. Like I said, birth, deaths, or marriages. It's always one of them. So yeah, his missus is having a baby. So there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I hope that everything goes swimmingly with that as well.
If you can guess, whoever guessed that, yeah. But you guessed that, didn't you, Brian?
Well, I just said, when you ever say personal commitments, it's always either someone's dead, or someone get married, or someone's been born.
Mm-hmm.
It's always one of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of those like certain circumstances. Big up to KJ, by the way. Big up to Honesty.
Yeah, big up
Bernie in the house. High Lord in the house. Big up to all of you. MK Toe in the house. Big up to you as well. I'm sure there's others, and I see that the number of people watching is higher than the number of people I said hello to. So I'm saying hello to you as well out there. If you haven't chimed into the chat, appreciate each and every one of you guys for bringing up a little weekend walk. You know how we like to do. We never walk alone as Reds. So I appreciate you guys taking this walk with us. So spoke on.
I read an article on my phone before about Diaz, saying Diaz might be tired because I think his second game's a high altitude as well, and he won't be.
Well, his first game, I believe his first game was, I want to say too.
Oh, was it? And then
because I believe he played. I want to say they played Bolivia at Bolivia, and like I was telling Brian, like it's on the chat too, like. Bolivia is ridiculous. I mean, when it comes to the altitude and where they play, but they're all so Bolivian players are so well conditioned to it, which is exceptional. It helps them out immensely when they take on. They have a great home record too, by the way.
It mentioned him coming back on the Wednesday night, Thursday morning, but we don't play. Do we play on the Sunday? We do, don't we? We play on the Sunday against Chelsea.
So it's October 20th. Is October 20th Sunday? Let's see.
I think it is. I think we are.
It is, because tomorrow's the 13th. So
because the big problem last time was when McAllister came back, and it was a similar scenario. He played on the Wednesday night, got back on the Thursday morning or whatever, and then had to play on the Saturday morning at 12:30. Remember when he had to get taken off? It was Old Trafford, was it? No, it was Man City when Trent got the equaliser. McAllister had to come off at half time, didn't he? Because we started him the 12 start, and he couldn't get
Yeah,
on.
that was a mess. That was a mess that time when he came back off of that break. He was just knackered, and I mean, like, he was already really, really knackered already. But the flight is just the flight's one of the brutal parts of it. You know, flying over all those time zones and the length of it, you know, is pretty harsh on the body. Like, you can say what you think, oh, well, you're on the plane, you can just sleep it off and that'll be that. But I mean, it catches up to you, especially when you're looking at trying to be, it's the same thing I was talking about, that biorhythm, the body's biorhythm. It's like when you kind of rock the boat a little bit with, like, you know, the sun's up when it shouldn't be up and your body's like expecting it to be nighttime, but it's daytime. That really can mess with your equilibriums. So,
yeah, I've missed quite a lot of the football, but I've just seen, like, it was only earlier today that I actually found out how long that Alisson was actually out for. That it is going to be 6 weeks, and that's a long absence, isn't it? He's going to miss a hell of a lot of games there. But it's a good chance for Cleveland, isn't it? It's a good chance for Cleveland to stand in or to step in and do his thing. It's just with them two first ones being like Arsenal and Chelsea. But, you know, we've played against them before.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get that message up to Hyler. Apology, Hyler. I hit the T instead of the R there. Yeah, there should be like it should be good things happening for us with some of these. I think it'll be beneficial for us to get back these players personally. Big up to Red Armchair Supporter, by the way. Big up to you, brother. I think it'll be beneficial for us to get these players back. And why I was going to call this episode "Should I Stay or Should I Go" is because, like, I think that we all understand that there are certain players that have been mentioned. Obviously, the players that are on their last year of their contract. What I do like to see is that we are being a little bit proactive when it comes to, so that now that we have this, you know, now that we have the Edwards administration and or, like, you know, and his people all in line, like Hughes and those guys. We even have what was Edwards' second in command? He was our sporting director for a little bit of time too. He took over when Edwards left. Do you know what I'm talking about?
George Schmadtke.
No, not Schmadtke. It was what was his name? I can't believe I'm going blank on his name. Normally I'm really good with, like, the back you know, the back office guys. I know Hyler probably knows it, or, you know,
sorry.
Oh, okay. And probably Julian Ward. Thank you. I was just about to say Bernie definitely knows it. Definitely pick up Bernie. Yes, Edward too. Yes, Julian Ward. That's what I was thinking of. They're all back. So, like, it's gonna, you know, things are gonna run a little differently now. It took a little time probably to play a little catch up and maybe even get.
Hang on, sorry. Is Julian Ward back?
Julian Ward.
Did he come back?
Yep.
Did he? When did he come back?
He came back as well. I'm almost positive he came back. I'll double check on that to make sure.
Yeah, I didn't notice that one. Sure. I missed that one.
Yeah, he's obviously not doing the sporting director role, but I'm pretty sure I thought I saw that, like, he was.
KJ saying no.
Yeah.
Well, Edward saying he did.
It says here.
He did. Okay.
Yeah, it is, because I'm looking here. It says Julian Ward returns to Liverpool. Transfer chief joins as let's see.
It did, KJ. It did.
And yeah, he's now the technical director. That's what his new title is.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he okay? Lee's saying he's Edward's second in command, he thinks. Yeah. It wasn't it wasn't that much. It was
So he's like in the FSG role, like the way Edwards is like head of FSG football, not Liverpool. So Ward in like the FSG bit, not necessarily
possibly,
the
yeah. He's
Liverpool.
probably
Yeah,
like
okay,
his right hand man in the FSG portion of the.
but not actually working directly at Liverpool. That sounds, yeah, that's
Possibly.
probably why we didn't hear much if he was
Yeah,
back
I
at
knew that he
Anfield.
came back with. I knew that it was like Edwards. Yeah, as Eiler's saying, he recruited Julian Ward
That
straight
makes
away.
more sense.
That was like one of the first things he did was he brought back Julian Ward, and then obviously went for Hughes, and then picked Hughes as his as the guy that's going to run Liverpool.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, what I was just getting at is that I think that we're like, they're probably catching up to a lot of different things. That I don't want to say. Look, this isn't a pop at Schmacky, as well. I didn't mind Schmacky, to tell you the truth. He got things. He made Klopp happy, so that makes me happy, or that made me happy at the time. So and let's not get it twisted. I mean, like, I would love to see if you guys really even liked Schmacky or not. Maybe we could do like a 1 for you liked them, or 2 he was
He's only here like 5 minutes.
I know it was meant to be a long-term appointment, was it?
No, he was short-term
thing.
Yeah, but I thought, look. I mean, like, he got us. He got over the line. I know that some of them are already in the works technically, so like they weren't necessarily quote unquote the deals that he set up, but that transfer period that he was technically the sporting director when they actually came through. I thought they were all good.
When you look at it, from looking back now with hindsight, it basically looks like he did the Endo deal. The Mac deal and Saab deal were basically already done, and he came in as a short-term hire, as you'd say in the States, and did his job, used his connections in Germany to, okay, look, we've lost out on this Caicedo guy. Yeah. Let's get to work. You use your contacts in Germany. So I reckon Endo was all his.
Yeah.
I think the other two, but I think he came in, he gave Klopp, but he was happy to come in and do.
See, the Mac one I think was him too, though. I think the Gravenberg was probably him.
We've been after Grav for a while. He was in the building. I just mean in terms of one that I would say was a 100% him deal. I think it was probably Endo. Like you say,
I know he's not going to get credit for Mac, but I mean, like, it was Mac. Mac was there when he officially.
That's what he was in the building, but I mean, I think that might have been in the works. Grav would have been in the works. Dom might not have been in the works. I'm not sure, but we paid the buyout for him, right? So, yeah, I think he did a good job. It's like you need to, like, I just thought it was so annoying when people used to criticize, like, people came in and they found out that he was living in Ibiza, and people were like, "Oh, how can you have a director of football that lives in Ibiza?" It's like, they have phones and laptops. That's all he needs to do his job. It's like he lives in Ibiza, so he must be out clubbing it every single night, popping pills and drink. It's just the stupidest thing. Like, there's lots of incredibly rich parts of Ibiza where people go and retire. It's a very nice place to live. It's not all party central, but people are like, "Oh, how can we have a DOF that lives in Ibiza?" It's like, come on, guys. That's people were throwing shit at him. Like, he came in short-term job. I know you weren't.
Everyone knows what pretty much a lot of you guys know what I do. So I go there.
Yeah, no,
I've seen the
beautiful.
I've never been there personally. I've never been there. I haven't been there yet, but I've seen the videos. So
it used to be like that's only a tiny part of Ibiza. Ibiza used to be part of the hippie trail. It was a stop off on the way to Morocco, so it's got a really old history of. It's a really cool, beautiful place. So there's a small part of it that's all like, and that was in the 90s as well. It was just so funny. Yeah. Like, how can we have a director of football who live in Ibiza? It's like, okay, he's not at traffic every night. He's not out. It's like, what are you talking about, lads? So I thought he did a decent job. He gave us a smooth landing. In come the new boys, totally different change of staff. So if Klopp had hired some guy on a 4-year deal, and Klopp then leaves, you would have had a guy on it, and it would have been messier. So fair play to both of them. Came in, held it down while he was here, and moved on with no fuss. Enjoyed his time here or in Ibiza.
Yeah, the thing. So speaking of Ibiza and like partying and getting in. Talk about a player that was having a good time on the limited time that he had off. I know because he was in America with his best friend or something, right? Isn't that how the song goes? You know what I'm talking about? That song? No, I'm not gonna sing. Sorry. Yeah, so that's as close as you're getting probably.
Was that Michael Jackson or something?
No, it's like dun, 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 dun. Oh, look at my best friend. I forget it. I'll look it up. I know everyone's drawing blanks on my rendition of it, but I was going to say Trent Alexander-Arnold. There was a question from Hylor. I'm going to bring it up here right now. Give me 1 second. Trent, where was the message? Give me a second. Bring it up. Because he was asking about the interview that Trent did just recently, and he also
ITV one.
Yes,
I saw that. That was a lot of that was about England. It was painful to watch. It was so bad. It was the guy. Is it Gabriel Clark? I think was interviewing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was acting like he was interviewing Martin Luther King or the Pope or something. It was just so over the top. It was like, geez, he's just a footballer. He's like, oh, yeah. I had to turn that off after about 10 minutes. Really?
Yeah. I mean, like Trent's been very, very front and center when it comes to a lot of interviews or obviously PR pieces for us as well. But like, yeah, I think he's definitely been kind of enjoying the spotlight a little bit. I think.
I believe so.
It doesn't. Normally, we all thought that he's very private person, not really necessarily wanting to be like, front and center when it comes to like having all the attention on him. And unfortunately, that's what when you have the attention on you like that, every step you take is scrutinized that much more so. But yes, I'm going to bring up his comments, bring up Hylor's comments from the interview. I'm also going to, I guess what we could do is we could talk about, should I stay or should I go? There's 4 players that I have on this list. Questionable 5th as well, but won't get too deep into the 5th player. But start with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Should he stay or should he go? Like, as in, will he stay or will he go? I guess is a better question.
That's a much better question. That's a way better question.
Yeah. Because I think he should stay. Obviously, I think we all think he should stay.
I think exactly. So we don't want to go down that road.
Right.
I mean, even option 2 is controversial. So yeah, option 1 would be nuclear. So.
Right. Yeah, obviously the Real Madrid have been heavily linked with a move as they eye a pre-contract agreement in January.
The eye of Sauron.
Yeah.
Sauron.
Yeah, he won't leave in January.
It is, Lee. It is.
He won't leave in the January window, but as mentioned, we can only wait for the club to resolve the contract talks. If that is a possibility, I have been seeing reports that Liverpool have intensified the conversation to try to get the deal done. There were people out there saying, "Oh, talks are dead," or both camps have walked away from negotiating, blah blah blah, because they're not even close to wherever the number is that is going to bring him out. Some of the quotes that he said, like for instance, the quote here that either provided was and it was in the interview, I take it, is there's a possibility that I may never win a trophy again in my career, and there is an opportunity for me to win many, many more. That's a very, very, I mean, I don't understand that one really. And then he says, I've reached the peak of my career now, and I don't want to, because it was his birthday, by the way, just recently. And he's saying that it was, I've reached the peak of my career now, and I don't want to be known as the player who only won trophies when he was young. I think
that was in response to, that was one of the questions I saw, because the guy Gabriel Clark basically pointed out to him that you've been playing for 8 years And if you play for like or 6 years, if you play for another 8, if you play for another 8 years, you'll be 34. So would you say that you're at the exact half point of your career now?
Mhm.
And he was kind of thinking like, yeah, that he was going to say that's a fair way of putting it. Like, yeah, I'm 26 now. I've had 8 years, and he was saying, yeah, I probably see myself playing until I'm like 35, maybe 36. So he would say, yeah, I probably am at the halfway point of my career.
Mhm.
So that's what led your man into go. So like, so what's next kind of thing, And I know it was a sit down interview. He wasn't stopped in the street. So he was
Right,
he was
right. Or it
prepared to
wasn't like after
answer.
the game type
Mm.
interview. Right.
Yeah, he was sitting down, so he would have known what the questions. Well, none of those questions were cold. They're all pre-reviewed, scanned, and approved by his PR team and England's PR team, and he's
Mhm.
approved and said, "Yeah, okay, I'm going to answer them." They may even have practiced. They probably will have practiced answering some of them. So none of them were coming out of coming out of nowhere, stray shots or anything. He was ready for all of those questions. It's a sit
Mhm.
down England interview. It's basically scripted, other than an odd little comment here or there. It's basically a scripted interview. So, yeah, he did make some comments that if you wanted to, but Lee Wiskett, sorry I've interrupted you, but Lee Wiskett made a really good point. He said earlier on, the problem with Trent right now is no matter what he does, it can be interpreted either way.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
spot on. If he
yeah.
says
That's a
something,
very great. That's a very
say
good point.
something,
That's a very good
yeah,
comment.
it's like you're damned if you do or damned if you don't. Oh, he didn't
That's
give an
great right
interview.
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
but he did give an interview. Oh, he said this, but he said that.
Mhm.
Unless he comes out and straight up says, I'm leaving or I'm staying. Everything else
Mhm.
go, oh, did he mean this? Well, oh, did
Mhm.
you see the way he looked when he said it? All that stuff.
Yeah.
The body language people.
Body. Yeah. Then you got the body language experts that like, want to read like, oh, every time he leaves the pitch or if he's leaving the, or if, he could be out with his mates and they'll figure out, oh, look, he's not. It doesn't look like he's happy, so he must be leaving. Or it is a weird situation. But
It'd be interesting to see if the link was still strong with a new Madrid manager, if Ancelotti was suddenly not there. But I
that's a
don't
good.
think
That's a very good.
it is a point, like, and it's something to think about. But I don't think it's the type of link that's dependent upon who their manager
No,
is at the time.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more like,
It's the club,
uh,
not the manager.
yeah, it's the
Mhm.
Manager
club,
don't play
and
players.
yeah, that they favour it because like he's got a good profile, and it'd be. I don't think they'd do it just for that to have another English player there with Jude. They wouldn't do it just for that. They'd have to actually want the player, but it would be a neat deal for them in that from that
Yeah,
point of view to have
it is.
two
Yeah,
mates together. It's
if
always
He's
that's the
high
good.
case,
profile. He
yeah, if
is
that's the
very high
case,
profile.
let's get
Definitely.
let's. Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
No, sorry, but he is though, isn't he? Like he fits their profile of
Mm,
high profile player.
Yeah.
He is in all the ads. He might not be their highest, but when you look around, he's very big. Like
mm.
he's Adidas. He's one of their main guys. So he ticks all those boxes for them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. We are. Did you
it's
see the report that we are? I know I mentioned it yesterday, but we are going to be the elite signature club for Adidas. By the way, I know that I mentioned it somewhat. I didn't really go too in depth in it, but I don't want to get too far off topic. But you're talking about players, that these players that are linked to these brands. I know that the brands. I know sometimes people get these concepts or these thoughts that, oh well, Adidas might pay him extra,
no.
to help us out, help us keep him, or this, I don't think that's
I'd
gonna happen.
agree with KJ. I think Trent does count as a Galactico. I think he would count as that.
Did
To
he
me,
really?
yeah, for a Madrid, he would count as a. It's basically you say to Madrid, "What's a Galactico?" Say, "Okay, what position does he play in?" Okay, you need a right back. Okay, who's the best and most famous right back in the world right now? Probably Trent, if he doesn't already play for you. Okay, that's what a Galactico is.
I
The
got you.
most famous,
Under
the
that
most
definition, yes, I get what you're saying.
yeah. That's the way they look at it.
Mm-hmm.
and then they show up and they have one bad game and their fans start booing them.
Mm-hmm.
So getting the white hankies out and all that.
No, it's difficult. It's difficult. I think Trent is not recognizing or realizing what it is that, he's going to possibly get into. There was a player, I don't know if I brought this up in another episode, but there was a player that plays for, oh man, I can't think of it on top of my head. I will look for it in one of my folders here, but I want to say I could tell you actually, if I see the name of the team, I could tell you. He plays in La Liga, and he can't, was it?
Oh, sorry, I was saying low team. That's what.
And he plays in La Liga, and it is for let me think if I get it might be Getafe. Is that how you pronounce it? Getafe?
Getafe.
Yeah.
Hataf?
Big Getafe.
No, just call him just call him Getafe. It'll be great.
Hataf. I know the J's. I don't think that I thought the J's are pronounced like H, not the G's. But
no, just call him Getafe. It'll be great. Getafe. Everybody calls it like Cafe.
I think it's Hataf. I think he plays for. But he came out and he basically was talking about like the treatment that he's gotten from the referees. He was talking about how and he was just coming out and just saying that he thinks that it is he was kind of construing some of the things. He was talking about referees, and then he was also talking about the interactions that he's going through with some of the with different fans and players and the likes. But he was talking about La Liga has some issues with their racial relations with the players. Let's just say, I mean, we all know about the Vinny Jr. Comments and the likes. So it's one of those things where, being a person of color in La Liga is not an easy. It's not easy for any star, but it's certainly not even easy. It's even less easy for some of the stars, like the Brazilian stars, or obviously the stars that we've seen get the kind of treatment they have in the league. So it is kind of a. I don't understand why. I wouldn't understand why you'd want to go to a league like that, personally. But let me bring in JK. Actually, JK just joined us. I'll bring up JK as well. Bring up JK. How you doing?
All good, bro. How you feel?
Good. I don't know if we might have caught you mid sandwich or something like that.
Sounds like he's doing 80. He sounds like he's doing 80 down the M50 there.
Who knows? I mean, are you back in Germany now?
No, still in the UK, bro.
Oh, okay, all right. I didn't know, because I mean, I didn't know if you're, using your. I was gonna say, if you're on the Autobahn or something, hey, pull over.
You get me? How you doing, Brian? Hope you're cool.
Yeah. How long you back for, Jay?
I've been here for a few months now.
Really
so I'll be back. Yeah. Long time, you know what I mean? Haven't seen England and stuff. But Liverpool are top of the league, so it must be a good thing that I came back.
Yeah, it is definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely. I don't know if they do that anymore. It's not. There was. I definitely want to go visit Germany, but they were talking about how. But if I went to Germany, I would want to rent a car and go take a little spin on the Autobahn. But I don't know if they allow for that to happen or not.
Yeah, you could do that.
Oh, you can. All right.
Yeah, I drove a few when I worked at Mercedes and stuff. I was driving all the top cars on the Autobahn, bro.
Oh,
Next
wow.
level. It was nice.
Yeah, man.
It was nice.
Yeah. Definitely. There is a player that I wanted to talk about also. I don't know if we have a direct replacement for Trent, by the way. I don't, and that's the Connor Bradley is certainly a replacement that can become a great player. I'm not. Yeah. It's funny because there were talks. There were people out there saying let Trent go. There was even a report, or not a report. One of the content creators had a show called "Do We Even Need Trent?" or let him go. We don't need Trent or something like that. Yeah. There's been I saw Micah Richards on the show that he does with Shearer and who's the other guy's actually the big name. They do. He used to. I think he does. Yes.
Gary Lineker. Yeah.
Yeah. They did a show and they were fielding questions from
the
other.
Rest is football. That's what the rest is football, isn't it?
Yeah, the rest is football or something like that.
So bad.
Yeah. So he on that show, they got asked a question about Trent, and Micah Richards said something as simple as, because they were asked the question of keep 2, let 1 go free. If you guys want to, that's a difficult question. I think a very difficult question. I don't know if you guys would want to even venture into answering that question. I know we've done something. We've done something similar where we had the extend. I think it was called. I said extend. Let the player ride out his contract, and then or something like that. It was like somehow it was like basically you're extending one player, but you're just basically letting the other players go. But this question was keep 2, let 1 go. And it was interesting to hear the players that they chose to do. They pretty much, most of them went with Trent, but Micah Richards was like, he thinks that he would let Trent go because they can win without Trent, he was saying, but they can't win possibly without Virgil, because Virgil's like one of the spine players of a team. I'll ask this question then. How about this? Because so we don't have to go to the 2 for the keep 2, sell 1. We don't want to go down that route, but
hey, we totally skirted the Trent one as well about should he stay or should he go. We totally forgot about that one. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
We can come back.
I was going to ask this question about Trent real quick before we move on to some of the other players on should they stay or will they go? Is Trent? You know how we have like there's that definition of the spine of a team. Is Trent one of those players that you would define as being the spine of our team? Yeah, I saw Lee. You're getting ready for that one. I know. I can see your face on that one. I'll start with JK since JK is new to the broadcast here. For today, at least, JK, is he a portion of the spine of the team? We all know that like Virgil van Dijk is one of those players that you could consider the spine of the team. Ali, one of those players that gets considered the spine of the team. Is Trent one of the players that you consider a player in the spine of the team? See, like the lower lumbar. I don't know. L6.
Yeah, he gets it.
I don't know if I got the term right. So.
Yeah, the spine of the team. We know what it is. Yeah, spine of the team.
Yeah.
It's a. I'll just say no from the start because to me, I'll let JK have a think about it. For me, the spine of the team is goalkeeper, centre half, centre mid, and then it's not about like if you're talking about is he mentally part of the big part? Yeah, that might be yes, but physically, just technically, for me, the spine of the team is the middle of it. Literally, that's why it's got just a bit that runs through the middle. So your keeper, your centre half, your midfielder, your centre mid, and then not even necessarily your centre forward. But it'd be Trent would be part of the other thing. But just on a technical thing, I'd say no. But is he one of the most important parts of the team? Yes.
Because he has become definitely an important part of our team.
But just on a have we got back trouble? Not yet.
Not yet. JK, do you want to take a stab at that one? Oh wait, JK's on mute real quick. I'll ask Lee first. Actually.
You know, on the mute.
On the mute. Lee, is Trent a spine of the team player?
I'll start with Brian and what he said there about it being the spine of the team being literally the core of the team, like goalkeeper, centre half, centre mid, then maybe one of your forwards. But like in all the other terms, like in who he is to us, like our vice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
and
exactly.
Everything else, like he's a massive player for us, isn't he? Like he's one of our main players. But I mean, it's one of them things, isn't it? We all know we'll cope if he were to leave, but it would severely weaken us. Like there's no doubt of that. I mean, people have been talking about a new fullback all summer, haven't they? Just gone, and not like to replace him, but as a new number 2, and that like people were talking about Frimpong, or maybe possibly replace Trent.
Do you still have his heat map at 12? Do you still have the heat map that I sent you from last night? Trent's heat map this season.
Give me 1 second. I can pull it up from
Lee. Like when we're talking about Trent playing inverted and all of this kind of stuff. I think this is one of the most interesting things I've seen so far this season. This made me think that we, in an alternative world, we don't have Trent, and he's preparing for life without a Trent by playing with someone who's much more, as the heat map will show. And it's not after 2 games. It's not a big sample size, but it's a decent sample size. It will show someone who plays clearly as an orthodox right back, just an out-and-out normal right fullback. And if we're setting up a team, like I said, I've always had a problem with us creating a team purely to accommodate Trent, because that's counterproductive. It now seems like he plays in the team, but he plays in that one position. So if we were to lose a Trent, in no way any of us want to do that, but we're not losing a player who our whole system is built around. We're losing a player who is playing as part of a system in a right back role. Yeah, he might be the best in the world at crossing and passing and all those other things, but he's not it's not like we're playing with a number 10 and he's our Riquelme and everything has to go through him. I think this might be perhaps his system, but also maybe preparing for life without someone who is our biggest creative
by the way he's been using
by playing Trent, by just saying like this is when we play with a guy, even if it is Trent, he just plays a normal kind of right back role. Yeah, so that if he was to go, we're not trying to replace a guy who our whole system is built around. 90% of our play goes through him. No, we're not going to lose that guy. We're going to lose a guy who, even though he is Trent. Now, again, this is me purely thinking this up as this isn't something I was talking about earlier. I literally just had that thought myself right there. Maybe we are preparing for life without him by playing with a much more. But his heat map, it just looks like you'd probably look and go, "Who's that?" You probably say, "Oh, some guy that plays for Villa or something." He's not. He looks.
I have it ready for you when you're ready.
Yeah. Oh no, it's you put it up whenever you're ready to go. It's interesting. Interested to think what Lee would think of it. I know it's heat maps, I know, but it's instructive enough. It's basically his average position over the whole season.
Get an idea of where the players are playing.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from them, can't you? Like, give you a lot of information. Like,
okay, bring this.
Yeah, roll it there, Roisin, as they say.
Yeah, let me bring it up here. This is the full screen.
Yeah,
this is Trent's heat map. It shows that he's playing. He's not really doing that inverted thing, because his heat map in comparison to 2023-24 would have been the whole map would have basically would have been it would have looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator or something like that,
like when you look at that, what you see is a guy that just plays. It's like you're not winning any points for guessing what position he plays. He's a fullback. He's a right fullback. Gets up and down, does more defending than attacking.
Yeah.
And even when he does attack, he doesn't go too far forward. Look, he's nowhere near the corner. He's nowhere near the byline. Never.
Yeah. There's
look, that big red heat spot is in our half. Like his hottest spot is in our half.
Yeah.
So that just shows that he's been shackled to this is your role.
That's why it's pretty interesting that, and especially since I think it's interesting too because of his comments that he made about how he's made a more of a devotion towards trying to, become a better defender as well. So it's kind of like that's probably why you're seeing a lot more of his heat map, as in it's heavier certainly in our half as opposed to the offensive portion. But I wanted to also talk about will he stay? Will he go? We can do the quick around. I think he will stay. I think ultimately he will stay. It'll be like an announcement. It's very similar to the Mo Salah announcement that he was staying for us. I don't know if we're going to see him shirt off like at the beach or wherever he was. I think it was by the pool and he goes Salah stays or whatever he said or whatever. I don't think we're going to see that, but I think we'll see something very similar. Real quick, we'll go around because there's another player I want to get involved in the conversation. Lee, will he stay? Will he go?
Yeah, I get the feeling he'll stay.
Okay. Brian, will he stay? Will he go?
Ask me in a week. Right now he stays, but in a week, like as I said earlier on about this being prime manager sacking season, the second international break is when managers often get sacked, but it's also another prime time for announcing new contracts.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's only one more. Like the longer this is going on, I'm really on the fence now because I'll come out and say it now that I think he leaves. I think he leaves.
Yeah. Bold statement. JK,
what's he on now? What's he on now at the moment?
160,
is it?
Yeah, I think 160. I want to say.
That's not far off. Yeah, 180 is what I would have guessed.
It might be 180. It could be. It might be. I think it is closer to one. I think it is 180 maybe. I'll double check for you.
That's before bonus, so he's probably coming home. If we win a game, he's coming. He's probably coming with 225, 230 maybe.
Yeah, Red Armchair Supporter just gave the he said 180K.
Yeah, he's probably averaging about 200K. With bonuses this season, he's probably averaging around that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure he's making good money. He's They're not none of his family's going hungry, but JK, will he stay? Will he go? Which one are you picking?
Is he on the mute?
He's not on the mute. He's not on mute, but I don't know if maybe the reason why I saw him drop out and come back. Yeah, he's dropping out. He's gonna come back in probably. Maybe he's having audio problems. Well, we'll wait to hear what JK. Oh, maybe he's back. See if he works this time. JK, are you there? He's not on mute. You're not on mute, but we're not able to hear you, JK. Maybe JK has some very, very, important news from the Trent Alexander-Arnold camp, and they're muting his mic or something. Who knows? Who knows? MK Toe says he thinks he's leaving.
Put your answer in the private chat, JK, and then we'll move on to the next bit.
Yeah. Trying to see if anyone else said any of the others. No, you definitely can't complain about money, Red Armchair Supporter. MK Toe thinks he's leaving. Let's see. Give one more try for JK. JK, can you hear us?
There.
That's
cool. That's cool. Okay, what I wanted to quickly say was I think he will stay with the hint that he might go.
Splinters.
I know, exactly. That's hedging your bets. Yeah.
That's about 80 to 20%. I'll go with that. But for me, I just don't like the way our fans are treating Trent with a bit of disrespect. At the moment, he's our player. You get me? He might be signing a contract, and people are talking bullshit about him. Like, he's for me probably one of the best players of football I've ever seen. He's that good. This guy is next level. Like I was today, there was like highlights of West Ham against Liverpool in the EFL Cup a few weeks ago, and he took a shot. Was it in that game? Oh, wow, there was so much Liverpool on today TV. He took a shot anyway from the right hand side. He was like near the touchline, and it hit the post. Like that's what he's capable of doing, you know. But for me, the bigger picture being, I just don't like the disrespect like by content creators trying to make a bit of smoke about Trent and this and that. We got a league title to win, you know. We've got Champions League, and at the end of the day, I just feel if Trent wasn't born in Liverpool and he was born in London, I would say straight away, yeah, that my answer would be yeah, he's not going to stay, he's going to go. But because he's a Scouser, I just feel that burden sort of thing will make him stay. I just feel that. I think he don't want to be hated by Liverpool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? His whole life. How long is he going to play now for? Another 8 years? 7 years?
Yeah, he says he wants to play another 8 years. I saw an interview where he said he wants to play at least because they're like, oh, you're it was
the ITV thing,
yeah.
So for me, like, does he really want to ruin that? Playing somewhere, I don't know. If he leaves with us next year, and goes to Madrid, he's only going to be there for 3 years max. 4 years before.
I don't know what I don't get what he's really. I get some of what he's saying, but I just don't get exactly all of what he's saying. But I think he's just trying to, again, make it more the emphasis of playing coy almost, you know, playing like both sides of the fence and tugging at certain heartstrings and
quickly, I just want to quickly. I just want to say I don't like the way Hughes and Edwards have handled these all contract situation. We've got 3 guys who can leave on a free next year. Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah, I think they're not letting no information out because what these guys like doing is like keeping us fans on strings. You know, as soon as January comes, the first few days of the transfer window, bang, get these 3 guys signed. Let everyone know they've signed new contracts. We're going to be all over the moon, not thinking about the DM we might need, for example.
Maybe.
And for me, that's why I don't really like the way we handle this topic. And I think Edwards at the top of the tree, you know, he's sort of making these decisions, when to let news out. They let Arne Slot say before even Klopp and he left their positions that he's coming to Liverpool. So they allowed that. But they're not allowing the media to know that if these 3 guys are signing a new contract. Why? Because they don't fit into their timescale, you know, in the way they want to do things. So for me, I'm a bit annoyed. And that's why I didn't want Edwards or that other guy to come to Liverpool. They're too shady for me. You know what I mean? I don't like this type of behavior.
I understand your perspective. I'm looking at it as like not judging anything on the Edwards thing. I was just going to say, I agree with your point, though, where you spoke on. It is interesting how a lot of revisionary history is now being put up, and how like people are saying, "Oh, he wasn't that good," or "He's not the end all be all," or "He's not we don't need him," or this or that, or "He's easily replaceable." Like, and then and you listen to some of the critiques and criticisms that you hear out there. I'm not saying that you can't critique or criticize a player, but you know, I know from what I was seeing on some of the content creator pages, especially when I was in the forums, I would put it out there. I'd be like, look, I'm like, it's funny. You guys, I know that some of, not everyone has had the pleasure of being a sports agent, or maybe being in a team or a family that has a player, or maybe even being the player themselves. But I'm like, you do get you do hear what's going on and what's being, you know, what's kind of like what's being said about you, you know, and you can block it out as much as you want, or you could try to block it out as much as you want, but you do hear it, and it can affect you in one way or another. And this is very interesting. I just said I think it was on Monta's show, like I said, you know, and you wonder why he would possibly consider leaving. Like if I tuned in, and every time I tuned in, it was like Trent can't play defense, or he's this, he's that, he's da-da-da. Yeah, eventually I'd be like, all right, cool, I'll be that, and I'll be that in Madrid, you know. Like it's just one of those things. I know that there's other factors that are going to affect him pushing him one way or the other, but I agree with you on that point. There is a player. Real quick, JK. There is a player that is also getting a lot of flack and I'm going to say maybe criticism somewhat. I know that I don't know if the streets are with us or not, but like he's a player that I think is unfortunately and unduly getting a lot of like negative.
Who we talking about? Sorry, I miss. Who we talking about? I had to get up for a second.
Oh yeah. I'm about to land it. Yeah, I haven't said it yet. So, okay,
oh, sorry.
No worries. And that player is Andy Robertson. There are talks earlier this week. Reports emerged from Portugal claiming that Real Madrid were monitoring development of former academy prospect Alvaro Carreras at SL Benfica. He's a 21-year-old left back. That's according to the Spanish outlet Diario AS. And they are also reporting that Liverpool are eyeing up Carreras as well. It's interesting because I know Manchester United were looking at signing this player as well. They're looking at trying to find, obviously, their situation with their left back is a much more serious situation than our situation, I think. Excuse me. But yes, Alvaro Carreras was a target for Manchester United. Looks like they bungled that deal, and their mishap might be our fortune. It depends on how you're looking at it. Look, I thought Simicast has played well this year. I know eventually he's starting to get up in age too. Let me bring down this heat map actually. And I also know that Simicast is getting a decent amount of, I think he's getting more minutes or at least more time on the pitch than he was getting with Klopp, to tell you the truth, in the left back role for Robbo. And it's not all related to injuries or anything like that. But Robbo's been playing pretty decent this year. You know, he's got some decent statistics going in his favor. The player that I mentioned plays in a different league, so like it's a little bit sometimes difficult to compare their statistics. But the player Carreras has better statistics in a lot of the areas that people are trying to criticize Andy Robertson on. Do you think that we need a left back upgrade or even a replacement? Do we need to look at possibly moving on from Robbo, and if not Simicast? What are your thoughts? I'll go with JK, Irish, and then we'll go to Lee.
No, let Lee go first. I think if you want to go, Lee, you've been sitting quietly there for a while.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do think it is time to identify a new left back. We've seen so far that Simicast is getting minutes, isn't he? Because I think we realise now that Robbo can't play as much as he used to. He's going to have periods of rest. He's still a good player, but he'll have to have more rotation, much more rotation than what he's had in the seasons gone by. But I think it is time to identify someone new and, get on the case of, finding whoever it is and trying to put the deal in place. I mean, it's so hard to find a left back. I mean, Guardiola's tried that many, and now he's just abandoned the idea of having a left back and plays an inverted right back to get away. So he doesn't have to bother finding a left back, just plays the centre back there. That's how tricky it was for him to find a left back, because he tried a few, didn't he? He tried bringing in Angelino, tried Mendy, tried Zinchenko. He tried quite a few, didn't he? It is a difficult position to fill, left back, to fill properly.
Yeah. How about JK? Do you think we need a left back?
Look, I think Simicast is a good little player. You know, second choice left back. He does a job. Robertson, for me, probably one of the best and cheapest signings ever in Premier League history. Got the most assists as a defender with Trent. I just feel I don't like the way we sort of jump on players' backs after they think they've got. Because what happens? A player comes into a club, keeps on stepping up until he reaches a point where he's so good, he's the best in the world, maybe. And then what happens? The years later, he sort of deteriorates a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that happens, fans, modern day fans, seem to jump on the guy's back. They've done that with Robertson quite a lot. And I'm thinking, where is that respect to this guy who puts 150% in all what he does for Liverpool? The guy costs £5, you know. And for me, probably one of the Klopp's best players, who he developed into like one of the best left backs in the world, bro. And seeing the disrespect to him as well really sort of hits a nerve with me, you know. Trent and Robertson both getting slack from Liverpool fans. These are not Liverpool fans, bro. They're not Liverpool fans. They're piss takers, you know. And it's about time someone's actually told these guys, we don't need their information. We don't need to hear their opinions about Trent or Robertson. They've done a job for Liverpool, you know.
JK is wound up.
Yeah, it's been going on for too long, bro. Too much disrespect towards certain players, you know. And for me, Robertson being one of them guys. Like, what a guy, you know.
No, you're right. You're right. People couldn't wait to write him off like after his shoulder injury for Scotland. A lot of people came in quickly on it, like, and said, you know, he's finished now. Like, I knew he weren't finished, but you know, I knew then that he would be a different Robbo. We couldn't play week in, week out, and that's proven the case. And like, we are playing him week in, week out, but he's coming off late, isn't he? More often than not, and that's what you want to see. That's using your subs properly, and like making sure he, you know, whatever 10, 15 minutes from the end, get him off. Like, just make sure, you know, make sure. Get another off.
Make him let him play for like 60, 70 minutes, you know, and then just properly rotate him.
I blame
rotating for a lot of the cup games as well now. Like, don't want to see him, you know, having to play in the Carabao Cup. Same with the early rounds of the FA Cup. You know, he doesn't need to play them games. But it's in the past, he was playing like every game, wasn't he?
But I blame, like, say, Apple mobile phones. Like, what happens? You get an iPhone. The day it comes out, everyone's going mad about it. Oh, it's the greatest new phone in the world, this, that, and that. Go 2 years down the line, they will talk so much shit about that phone compared to the new iPhone 16 that's coming out now. Oh, it's the greatest ever. And that's what football's like, bro. Like, you know, that's what they're like with the players, you know. It's the world we live in.
Yeah, it was astonishingly quick that people like sort of changed from him being the greatest to being a has-been. But that's football, isn't it? Yeah, there are fans, you know, there's a lot of fans like that, you know, react really quickly straight away, don't they?
Yeah, but Robertson has played in defence. He started in every game in the Premier League, conceded 2 goals, you know, and he's been a part of that, you know. So for me, like United away, I think in first half, wow, probably the best game he's had all season. But he's been part of that defence that's kept like a lot of clean sheets. So for me, I have no problem with Robertson. I never have. I don't think I'll ever will have a problem with Robertson because the guy still gets about. Yeah, for me, the only thing I would love to see Robertson do is get them crosses in from the left side a bit more. But for me, him and Simicast, they're going to do a job for us this season. If they're not both fit or whatever, Gomez is also there who can do a job there. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah. Bri, do you have an opinion on this one?
Yeah, you know, it's you gotta look at the flip side, I suppose. The flip side, you know, this is late stage Robbo. He's not going to be performing this level in 2 years. You know, so again, yeah, of course the nonsense and the hate and the shy talk and all that, but you're going to be looking at him. Yeah, he's coming to the end of his Liverpool career. This is his late stage Robbo. You know, no shade on him. 2 years time, he'll be 33. So you've got to be looking to the future to bring someone in, because the thing then with me would be Simicast. Yeah, I've never had he's looked better this year. A lot. It's interesting. Some players have looked better this season, but
Yeah.
that's not about management style. It's probably about more play style, which I know is the same thing. But Simicast for me has always been just okay. I'm happy for him to play if Robbo is injured, but he's never been someone to me that after a while watching him and that was going to take the spot, as it were. So I would be of the opinion that we are, only because we have so many other things to do. And I'm not the kind of person that wants to go look, because I've been criticizing people for going looking for problems in like the people that are going after Salah and whatever. It's like he's putting up the numbers. We're in a league title race. We can worry about Salah next summer. We don't need to be nitpicking at him now. Just let him play, let him get goals and assists. We'll probably work out all right. So, but yeah, in 2 years' time, 18 months' time, maximum 2 years' time, there's no way Simicast and Robbo will be here, in my opinion. It's just that it's a problem you don't need to sell both your left backs and then replace them. That's not going to happen.
Well, I think also a major difference, if I just interject, the one thing is that I don't think that you're going to see Robbo pushing for an exit,
Oh, no chance. No chance. No, he'd probably like to retire here.
Yes, I think Robbo would love to retire here. Which is like, that's one of the noble reasons why when I do hear some of the takes or some of the like criticisms and such about Robbo, I'm just like,
yeah, the way I would
appreciate players that do
Robbo. No, I wouldn't replace. I'd keep Robbo, who can become a kind of a slightly older statesman type, for 2 years maybe. But what I would be doing is I would be replacing Simicast with a better version, like of that guy who is obviously going to be taking over Robbo's spot when he's gone. That's only in an ideal world, So
yeah. And let's see. One other thing I was going to say is there are a couple other players. I mean, like the other players, obviously, that we're going to speak on are the two players that are rejoining us from international duties for either red cards or just, hey, just take the night off type situations. And that's Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk. I do have an interesting take as well on Virgil van Dijk. Excuse me. I will get to Mohamed Salah, and then we'll get into that little fun spot or whatever that I said I have lined up for us. Virgil van Dijk could leave at the end of this deal or end of this year. I personally think that he will stay as well. There's reports that he's been offered a $300K salary and possibly 3-year extension is what they're looking at. I think that you will get. I don't think they're going to taper the signings. If they do get the signings, if they get them, they'll just get them in there. But I also think that there has been. If anything, Virgil van Dijk is not someone that doesn't see his fair share of criticism, not necessarily from a lot of the Liverpool fan base, certainly from his international or his national team fan base. He definitely gets a little bit of a shtick when it comes to his performances on the pitch. Obviously, getting the red card and it being a place where the Dutch are looking to try to solidify themselves as a World Cup qualifying team. He obviously has gotten some bit of pushback from some of the journalists over there.
Is it a straight red or 2 yellows?
It was 2 yellows. The first one was for arguing, and then the second was a foul. And he got a lot of criticism. I do have some of this stuff. It says criticism was leveled at the 33-year-old in the ratings, and it's centered around the second booking as they deemed the offense. The offense took place in a harmless area of the pitch and was quote unquote stupid. That's what was being said. But this is from a Dutch publication that was saying this. former Ajax midfielder Rafael van der Vaart was critical of him and was talking about the fact that now De Ligt is an option to be brought into the defense, and that he wants to actually see more of Mickey van der Ven to be utilized as a centerpiece of the back line.
I'd be happy with that because it means Virgil would stay at home here on Merseyside then and not be going on international duty, and I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah, I was happy with that.
One of the things with, like, we know how critical they all are, but one of the things with Virgil is...
Oh, that's cool. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, no, nice one, Luke. And Andre, new name in the chat. Nice one.
Yes. Big up.
Yeah, big up the chat.
Virgil went from Groningen to Celtic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was like a small club, and then he was at like a kind of a medium club, and he just went straight to Celtic.
Mm-hmm.
So he's never played for Ajax, PSV, Feyenoord. So he doesn't have the Ajax mafia in his corner. He doesn't have the PSV mafia in his corner. You know, he never played for one of their big clubs. He went straight to Celtic, Southampton, then Liverpool. Groningen is a tiny little spot. So that's why these guys, none of them are like, you know, his mates. Oh, he's ex-Ajax. So they don't come out to bat for him. And they love to criticize their own. So that's a big part of why Virgil, I think, gets a lot of the slack, because he's not like class of 92. He's not ex-Liverpool over there. That's part of what I think it is anyway.
Yeah. As Luke was just stating about, that was very interesting. He stated about the fact of one of the reasons why he could be returning is Salah, at least for Salah, is because of conditions of the bad pitch that they're going to be going to, because they're going to be playing on a away match and rough opponents, as in they tend to be very physical. So they're trying to make sure that they protect their talisman. So, and one of our, obviously star players. So we appreciate that. Big ups to the Egyptian national team for making that decision.
It's actually a smart move, isn't it? It's good for them as well, because they don't need him for this game, and the idea that he could be roughed up like on a bumpy pitch, like they won't want that either, will they? Like, they want him to have rhythm and have a decent season. So this has worked out well for us. This.
I just saw this.
Barely.
I just saw Andre is from Croatia, actually. That's pretty cool. I like to hear where we're reaching in the world. We have obviously a very diverse, normally would have actually four, like if we had the four members on the panel currently, we'd all be normally in 4 different countries around the world, so it's pretty cool to hear when you hear that you're, reaching other parts of the world as well. And big up. I welcome, and I hope that you definitely have many returns, because this is a very, very warm and open community when it comes to treating our Reds the right way. I would say. How about that? Treating our Reds the right way. And yes, and big up Luke B too. Big up. I appreciate all the extra information that you provided for us. That's big. That's definitely a big up. Speaking of Salah is returning as well. I have a quick question before we get into that fun little segment that I have coming up as well. With Salah, there has been talks that a particular player that we have not approached this team yet, but there's a particular player that we apparently are targeting or might be on our list of targets. Now, the number that will be required to acquire this player, very, very high, 100 million pounds. But there are talks about Kudus being a target for Liverpool to possibly be a replacement for Mohamed Salah if he were to leave. I know a lot of people on the panel or I know particularly Brian at least is very high on Kudus. I know some of you in the chat are very do admire his talents. And one thing about this player is that he could certainly fill a role on right wing for us, but is he the only player? There's also another player out there. I don't think he's necessarily going to be a like for like. It's there is talks about Marmouche, right? Also is apparently a strong option for us as well, particularly.
Can he do the Fandango?
I don't know. I don't know about that. But apparently he's been in fantastic form for Frankfurt, and he's already netted 8 goals, had 4 assists in just 6 matches. That's exceptional. But there apparently is no release clause in his. I know some people call us release clause FC sometimes, or as of late. But there's no release clause involved in his deal, so that could make negotiations a little bit more difficult to get the Marmouche deal done.
Yeah.
Which one of those players, if you had to go for one of them, would you prefer to see come across the line, and why? Why would you want that situation? Or is there maybe another player that you rather go for at the right wing position? Or maybe you just want to say, hey, let's just stick with Salah. Lee, what is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'd be made up if we bought Mohamed Kudus to replace Mo Salah. He's an excellent player, isn't he? And you can see that he's got quite a high ceiling. He obviously playing in a better team with better players, sharper players. I think he's an excellent player. I really do like him. He would be expensive, as you say. Maybe it'd be too expensive. What they would ask would be too much. But you don't know. You never know.
Yeah. JK.
I like Kudus when he was at Ajax. I like Kudus, say a year or two ago, he was really good when he came to West Ham and stuff. This season, not really been on it. But for me, that's how good Salah is. We can't even find names to replace the guy. You know, hence why I'd keep him for another 2 years. I have no problem with him, Virgil, Trent, all 3 of them staying. I also feel Virgil's got enough time in his legs because the way he plays football, very chilled, but he knows what he's doing. Hence why he can play another 2-3 years as well. But for me, I don't really want to think about the Salah replacement because that's a bit of a headache topic. Because we've been trying to find this guy. We've been trying to find this.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, then enough said. I got you. You don't have to,
for years, bro, we've been trying to find the next Salah. Who we're gonna buy? And there's not really a lot of people out there who can replace this guy. That Mamouche is that guy from Frankfurt. That guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he played really good last week. There's a guy at Dortmund as well. It begins with A, his surname.
Adeyemi.
He's a bit of a player as well, So for me,
we were talking about him the other night. We talked about him the other night. We're going through his injury record and stuff.
Okay.
Not brilliant.
That's what kind of.
There you go as well.
Yeah.
And that's Salah's injury record, probably one of the best ever.
Ever. Oh, ridiculous! Ever. Man's made of titanium. He's made it.
I don't care.
He's made of Terminator shit. There's
something
an exoskeleton or something going on there. Yeah, not normal.
It's not normal, bro. And that's why for me, you can't replace Salah. It's that hard to replace this guy, man.
Yeah. The only other player that I was going to bring, or there are 2 other players I was going to bring up.
I can talk about Kudus quickly
as well. Yes, definitely. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I've always been very big on him, and it's just one of those moments, and it was it was the year before he joined West Ham, and he played up front for Ajax in the Champions League, and he scored a hat-trick in that Champions League game. And he scored it in in a half or something like that. But he was kind of a new kid on the block. But it wasn't just a hat trick. There was something remarkable, but I can't remember what it was. But anyway, so he's getting interviewed on the pitch afterwards, and the UEFA TV girl is saying, "Wow, amazing. You scored a hat trick. I think he's the first player or youngest player to score one from Ajax, something like that. And he goes, it's absolutely ridiculous. This is stupid. I am not a striker. I don't want to be playing up front. He's like, yeah, I get it. I scored a hat trick, but I do not want to play up front. I'm a number 8. I'm an attacking midfielder. Why am I doing this? And I was just like, this guy is different. This guy has a different way of looking at things. And I've watched his career ever since. And he was being kind of looked at by other clubs that were like, you know, they're bigger than West Ham, but it was like they couldn't kind of give him like the playing time. And he was like, no, I want to go to West Ham. And you could tell, I'm going to go to West Ham and I'm going to rip up the Premier League for 1 year. And I will get immediately a big move to Man City. You can see his whole thing. He's one of the most driven players I've seen in a long time. This guy has a plan and he's going to get there. And I love that about him. He is, I know JK is saying off it. He's the best dribbler in Europe, 3.3 per game this season, 3.3 averaging. The next best is 3. This guy has been doing that for nearly 18 months now. It's. I know what you're saying, Jake. I don't want to talk about replacing Salah either, but this is a guy I wanted when he was at Ajax. This kid is special, and he's gone to West Ham and said, "Sorry, West Ham, you know I'm using this as a stepping stone. I know but you're going to get the best out of me because the only way to use you as a stepping stone is to come here and ball out, as the kids would say, rip it up. I'm going to come here. I'm going to be brilliant, and someone's going to offer you double what you paid for me, and you know I'm going to go." That's just how driven this kid is, and I really admire this player. I think he's brilliant. I take him all day, absolutely all day.
Okay, definitely high praise. High praise.
Like I said before as well, just imagine him playing with sharper players in a
Exactly.
He
knows how good he is, Lee. He's one of those players. He's like, look, just give me the shop window, and I'll show you. It's only because West Ham, like, they've got a bit of money now, so someone's actually going to have to come in and give him 100 million. You know, it's not like you're going to steal him for 60. They're going to have to pay the big money. But
you have to pay the big money. Yeah. There's other teams that are looking to be involved in the pursuit of him as well. I know West Ham, personally, Aston Villa is Aston Villa. Oh no, that's for Marmoush. Excuse me. You're talking about Marmoush, right? Or are you talking about Kudus?
Kudus, yeah.
Oh, you said
that was my Kudus.
That was your Kudus
monologue.
I got you. Yeah, there are other teams that I certainly appreciate Kudus's talents as well as Marmoush's talents, but I guess we'll see.
I think we can all agree, if nothing else, Kudus is way too good for West Ham. Way too good.
Yeah. He's wasting his talents somewhat there, I think. Yeah, for certain. But, you know, sometimes when you get into another situation, you know, you can either make the most of it or you can kind of fade to the back.
How much did West Ham pay?
They were paid about 40 million. He wasn't like he
wasn't cheap.
I was like, can we go? Yeah, but he wasn't like super expensive. I was like, can we not just go and get this dude? Oh, okay, no, obviously not. But yeah.
I was gonna say I'll look up Kudus's number for you real quick. They paid 37.2 million pounds.
Yeah, that's nothing.
And originally Ajax paid 8 million. Yeah, 8 million pounds for him originally. But go ahead, Lee. We're gonna say something.
Who did he buy him off? Who did Ajax buy him off?
It was, I think this is a Norwegian team. I'm not going to be able to say Nordsjælland.
Nordsjælland, yeah.
FC Nordsjælland. It's in Denmark.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nordsjælland,
yeah.
Yeah, he did hit the ground running, didn't he? Like, as soon as he came, I think he scored. Did he score in his debut? I think he did, didn't he, Kudus?
Yeah.
He just hit the ground running, didn't he? Like, looked really good straight away. But he has got an immense amount of talent and potential. I'd be made up to see him here. Yeah, if we could do that deal anyway, that'd be an excellent replacement for Mo Salah.
The only other two players I was going to mention real quick before we go into this last segment, we're coming up on the 90th minute of the show. We got another like 30 minutes to go. what I was going to say is
Excuse me.
the other two players are Joey G and Wataru Endo. Joey G is interesting circumstances. We ended up keeping him. I was happy to see that we kept him. It's going to be interesting how he fits in because we have a pretty much a concerted second choice for right back. We have somewhat of a concerted choice for left back in the second role. When it comes to the center back pairing, unless we rotate the entire pair out, we do have a second choice, I guess, in Kwanzaa as being that the more concerted choice when it comes to bringing it across the line or getting someone onto the pitch before Joey G is chosen. But he has played as a center back for us this year. And then we have Endo. Endo is someone that was slated as being out. I think it was Jane Phillips or something like that had it as he's gone or he's going to be sold. And but I've also seen in a lot of journos now that he's going to stay. It takes a player agreeing to the deal, so it makes a difference. And I think Endo would like to stay as opposed to go to another to some other club or some other situation in like France or
come on, bro.
Belgium or something like that, or Germany, possibly even Germany, where she did play.
No shit, Sherlock. He doesn't want to leave Liverpool, especially if it means, he's not going to go to a Belgian club that are going to pay him what we have. So he's not going to want to leave at all. So it's either like, okay, I'll go to a team that's going to pay me 1.5 million a year less than you are. Mm-hmm. Well, write me a check and I'll leave. The talk was Marseille at the start of the season. Now that was when we thought we were getting Zubi. Mm-hmm. So the Marseille were like in for 12 million. We wanted 16, and the whole thing kind of just ground to a halt. Mm-hmm. But I can understand why some people would say, but I don't think he's in it. Yeah, look, he's 31 now. He 30, doesn't have a long career left now, 32, yeah. So he's in absolutely no rush whatsoever to leave the biggest and best club he's ever going to play for. So
31, my fault.
Again,
31.
Yeah.
He turns 32 in February.
If he's happy to sit there, be part of the squad and take away and, not cause problems, yeah, cool. Like, not something we need, again, like, not a problem we need to go look for.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to get games sooner or later, isn't he? Because we haven't got a lot of options in that position. If McAllister's injured, we're going to need him, aren't we, in that position?
Yeah.
Oh, he'll play. He'll play. Someone's going to get injured.
Yeah.
Grab can't play every game. Grab can't play.
No, he can't play every game. Definitely not. And we need to. And he's. Despite the fact, it's just interesting. So many people, the names that they throw out there as being the players they'd like to see us go for, and I'm just saying, I just kind of come across as saying, the player has got to fit the role and style that we play here. And some are saying the reason why Endo might be the first to be out is because he might not exactly fit the style of play that we do, but he is at least an option to when we have to gravitate towards holding down a lead or something, or maybe like getting more defensive in our structure,
Oh, he's
like
a lockdown player.
Do a lot of those different things. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lockdown. Lock it down, half an hour to go, bring him on. Nobody moves. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Perfect. That's what you want. You do a great
Same
job
with Gomez being able to play that right back position. I always liked that under Klopp when Joe would be brought on to see a game out. And just defend in that position, because he's got the pace and that. I don't know if Slot will see it that way, though, whether he'll use him in that way, Joe Gomez, as the sub right back when we're trying to close a game out. But we'll find out eventually.
let's see here too. Second. And so I wanted to bring this in. This is the segment I was talking about. This is like a little interesting. So there's this, let me see, I can make this bigger for us. Actually, I was trying to make it by keeping us all on the thing. But
okay.
I'll make it bigger for us in a second. This is the segment I want to include you guys on.
Get rid of that JK guy. Yeah, if you need to make it bigger, just get rid of that JK guy.
Yeah.
Just make the Irishman a bit smaller. It's all right.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to bring up here in the full screen.
Oh, yeah, bring it up for a minute. Yeah. Give me a second. Okay.
This was originally something I saw. This is one of the publications I do subscribe to. Okay. It's called S90. And they came up with their Premier League All-Stars for the 21st century. If they're making an all-star team, they made a list of players to make the Premier League 21st century all-stars. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know why they had to put 21st century. They could have just said Premier League all-stars. It would have been the same thing. Actually, you know? But
well, it means you get to ignore a lot of Man U. If you leave out 92 to 2000, you can ignore a lot of Man U players.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Big up Pops. Big up Pops. I'd like to hear Pops' take on some of this one too. This is the list that they came up with. Obviously, CR7 on the left, Henry in the middle, Salah on the right, Lampard, Stevie G, KDB on the right. They had Cole, Terry, Rio, Walker, and Peter Cech in goal.
It means you get to leave out Shearer as well. You know, I think the reason they go on 21st is a bit like that. It's a crazy team. Crazy team.
It is a crazy team. I don't, let's just, I'll ask Lee.
Oh, I mean crazy good, but I mean crazy good.
Oh, it's crazy. Very crazy talented. Talented team.
Pops in chat. Pops is in.
Yeah, Dr. Pops. Okay. Dr. Pops.
There is a doctor in the house. There's a doctor in the house.
There's a doctor in the house. I was going to ask Lee first, then I'll go JK, then I'll go to you, Brian. Is there a name on here, or is there a name on here that you would replace? And who would you replace them with?
Yeah, I'd replace Lampard. I don't like that midfield from the point of view that it's too offensive, really. Lampard and De Bruyne together, which, I mean, Gerrard could tackle, but it wasn't his natural thing when he was a young midfielder to be a sitting holding player. He always had someone doing that for him. I just don't like the look of that midfield. It's a great team, like we say, it's a great team, and it's a great midfield, but I think if you were playing a 4-3-3, that wouldn't be a great blend in midfield in a 4-3-3. Gerrard, Lampard, and De Bruyne. I don't think.
Okay. JK?
Straight away, John Terry out, Van Dijk in.
There you go.
And I'll tell you the truth, I prefer Trent to Walker. I think, Walker's won a lot of things. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but I just feel Trent is an all-round better player than Walker. If I had the option to buy any of them two, I'm buying Trent. Not because he plays for Liverpool, just as a footballer, he's just better. But I think Shearer may be to replace Henry. Top
Shearer.
Premier League goal scorer, Shearer. So for me, Van Dijk and Shearer, take
don't
Terry.
But don't forget, though, JK, you can only judge from the year 2000 on. It's 21st century, so you have to ignore all those.
You have to ignore the
92 to 2000 Shearer.
Yeah,
type. That's why I think they've kind of done it that way a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think you could probably, like, Shearer was kind of done and dusted by the early 2000s, right?
Yeah. I think he played on, didn't he, for quite a while, but like he wasn't a goal machine anymore, was he?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying anybody in the chat, just remember as well, it's like it's not one of these since the start of the Premier League. It's actually since the year 2000.
Okay. But then I would probably replace Lampard for Keane, Roy Keane, to give that midfield a bit of balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, who'd you say? Who you putting in the midfield?
Roy Keane for Lampard. So I'm taking both the Chelsea boys out.
Okay.
And I'm going to put in Van Dijk and Roy Keane.
Yeah, as a three-man midfield, yeah, that one with Lampard, Gerrard, De Bruyne, it just doesn't do it for me. Thinking about it, in my mind, that's a three-man midfield. Whereas like Keane with Gerrard and De Bruyne, that's more like it. That's more like it as a three.
Okay, Brian, you're up. I'm asking the chat too, please. I mean, tell me. I'm going to include.
Yeah.
I'll include all your answers or who you want to bring in too. I mean, like I see Trap Joe and Ian have given us an answer. Please do. There's a bunch of you guys in. There's a bunch of you guys in the chat. I definitely, if you're driving or if you're unable to, that's cool. Definitely don't go. It's not that important. But I would love to know who it is that you guys would replace them with.
Yeah, if you can't type, just shout it at the screen.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. We might hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be instantly the same. I would replace Terry with VVD, even though Terry's body of work is a lot bigger, even though that I think VVD still just kind of pips him for Lampard because of his goals and all that. I'd replace Walker. Yeah, Walker's won it all, but he's done it when he went to probably 26, maybe. He was older when he went to City, 25, 26, maybe, something like that. Trent kind of did it all as a younger player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think over the course of his career, Trent would probably turn out to be better, but right now they're nearly 50-50. But I'll still give it to Trent. So I'd be taking out Terry for VVD, Walker for Trent. Can't leave out Mo, can't leave out Henry, can't leave out Ronaldo. There's a case to be made, but yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I'll just go Terry for VVD and Walker for Trent. But it doesn't have to work as a team, so don't get too hung up on that.
Yeah. KJ Blue said, Pep or Klopp could make this team work. I'm sure they could probably make something happen with this team. So I have Trap Joe saying KDB. No, he's definitely kidding. He wants to replace KDB with Hendo. Okay. I like the red loyalty there. Let's see. Pops agrees that midfield is going to work. Yeah, this is Pops saying this is more of a all-star team more than
it's
a balanced
list. Exactly.
Yeah, it's just a list of great players, sort of.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, I got you too, by the way. KJ's saying the midfield three, he could.
Well, no, it literally says, no, Pops, it literally says at the top, Premier League - All-Stars.
Yeah, All-Stars,
That's what it is.
There was some other answers. I thought someone else gave another answer. I just saw Ian said Suarez on the bench for when we drag off Ronaldo, or when we drag Ronaldo off. I said that I think that Suarez will probably bite CR7's ear in training and find his way into the starting lineup. So, there's always that angle. Bernie saying, can you imagine the goals from the strikers and midfield in that team? Yeah, this team is very offensive laden. The back line is a good back line, though. It is a good back line. I don't agree with I would have Terry as well. I think VVD fits that spot better than Terry.
Yeah, Terry's right out, man. Terry is straight out of that team. Nobody's having him over VVD.
I
Nobody.
guess like is the reason why you think Walker's there is because of the accolades, or is he just better?
All them titles.
All them
probably,
titles. Yeah.
They're just
And I
looking
think
at
he's he is a good little player. He's fast as anything. But
Yeah, he's a
I've
very
seen
good
him get
player.
skinned enough times recently.
By the time,
Yeah,
but JK, by the time if Trent had 2 more leagues by the time he's Walker's age, because Walker has a much more time to win stuff now. I think Trent. That's the only reason Trent is behind Walker, is because Walker's had a much longer career to win more stuff. Trent's still only 26. Like I don't think anybody is really taking Walker over Trent. As good as Walker is defensively with his pace and all that.
Yeah.
And he went to like the juggernaut team. Like he went to a team that just hoovered up titles. So
well, let's figure it out. Let's figure it out real quick. I want to see if we can only move one player. You can only one player, only one player. Who are we?
Only one player. If it's only one, then for me,
yeah,
it's Terry for
VVD. Yeah,
Terry for VVD all day long. All day
Terry
long.
for VVD is the consensus.
Yeah, all day. Yeah,
I'll say the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terry for VVD. Yeah, Bernie said VVD over Terry and Trent for Walker. I guess I know we as Reds are going to obviously have we're definitely going to try to get as many Reds as possible into this lineup. But
we're not doing too bad with 3. We're doing okay.
Yeah,
with 3.
I think Allison is a check as well.
Yeah, I mean, technically they have 2 already on here, but I mean, us trying to get our third in there was not that big of a deal. I think.
1, 2, 3.
Chelsea have 4.
Is it cheeky of me to say Ali over Peter?
Well,
Cech?
if we get rid of Terry, they only have 3.
Right. But I meant, is it cheeky to say Ali over Cech?
Well, if you only have one, you can do what you want. But yeah, that would give us 3, right? That would give Man United only 2. Yeah, it would give City 2. We'd be the most represented. If we brought in VVD, yeah, Arsenal only have 1. United have 1, 2. Chelsea have 1, 2. I just realized that
I'm gonna have to write S90 down.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, JK, you're right. Sorry. Yeah, we'd be 3 each with Chelsea because they had Czech. Yeah.
That's
2 for United, but yeah, we'd be well represented there.
I mean, they have 4. They have 4.
One in the middle.
4 players. I guess the 21st century. They're seeing it as Chelsea had the most talented players in the 21st century for any club here.
Well, since Abramovich took over, since Abramovich took over, no club in England won more trophies than Chelsea. So they just knocked it out of the park. So until City have come along, so that's why you get these boys. But we'd have a defender, a midfielder, and a forward. I'd be happy with that if we had VVD, Gerrard, and Salah. Got 3 players. No one has more than that.
I just think that VVD for Terry is a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
I don't understand why they didn't put because I mean it'd be one thing if they're like, oh, these players are either retired or something like that. None of these players are not all these. KDB still playing, Salah still playing, CR7's playing, but he's not in the Prem obviously, but he's still playing. Walker's still playing. Yeah, so KDB. Over half or a good number of the players are still playing. So you can't make that excuse. I get John Terry's had a lot of success, and just from what you just said about Chelsea being one of the most successful teams in Prem, in the Premier history right now. But
that's why they're giving that's why I was making the idea for the Terry one.
Yeah,
like that's what I like. This is probably made up by some, this could be fucking S90. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they make all types of lists. This I like S90.
When it's over, when VVD's career is over, he won't have won anything near what Terry has won.
No,
right? That's because Terry started winning trophies at about the age of 22 with Chelsea. and basically never stopped the whole way through his career until he ended up at Villa.
I'd be
He just
willing
won
to say
trophies,
though
yeah.
that because
But
they're talking about all
you can't
not
compare
talking
that.
about,
But that
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like VVD didn't get to a top club where he could win trophies until he was 26, 27.
Mhm.
You know, so it's really unfair to compare them. Like he couldn't win at Groningen, Celtic, Southampton. It's not his. Like Terry was already winning Champions Leagues when Van Dijk was at Celtic,
Yeah.
or leagues. You know, so he's way ahead of him in that kind of way of looking at stuff. But Terry, like nobody is going to say Terry's better than VVD. Nobody's played. Nobody in that team. All those players there. If you ask them who's better, Terry or
Well, I
VVD,
am
they'd say
asking the
Gary Johnson.
question. I am
No, I
asking,
mean those
no,
actual.
not about Terry. Not about Terry. Just hear me out. Not about Terry. But I am asking the question because I said it 2-3 times. Nobody wanted to bite on
Okay, well,
on the
sorry.
lure here. But Peter Cech over Ali over Peter Cech. No shout for Ali over Cech.
I mean,
like, we were just talking about Robbo being, the world class and being, the best left back. Maybe Robbo over Cole.
Well, if you want to keep it to, well, now you're going to two other. No, Cole is probably the best in my eyes.
Yeah,
anyway.
Cole was world
But-
class.
Cole is the best. All right.
Yeah, but no, the Czech Ali could have a shout, but even you could have a shout from, I think, even a David De Gea for a while. Ali at his best. I don't think Czech is like a, winning by a mile. In the, like the goalkeeper one is probably, but again, it's since 2000. Yeah, I think Czech is always up for debate. I think there's been some good ones. Yeah.
Is it because he wears a helmet?
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah, but you know what? I couldn't see Czech doing what say Edison and Allison can do, or even Kelleher with the ball. Like playing
Totally
out
different.
Yeah, it's a different ball game
him
now.
in that Mourinho team. Yeah, him in that Mourinho team was pure like old school goalkeeping.
Yeah.
Decent. Can pass the ball 20 yards to somebody if you had to. Not a klutz or it, but not one of these.
Not like a goalkeeper who gets goals away at West Brom and gets assists.
Yeah, Pops. I think Van der Sar falls well within the remit, and Van der Sar would be up there. Yeah, Van der Sar falls well within the remit of 21st century. I think he joined around. 2001, 2002. Is that too early?
Yeah, I hear you. I was I see Pops is he says no I think he means no disrespect to Robbo, but Ash was the best left back. Okay. Yeah. I'm just thinking about the fact I know that I see Walker on the right side. I'm just thinking about how Walker, or excuse me, Trent just broke the record for assist from a fullback, and I'm just thinking about who did he break that record from? Oh yeah, that's right, Robbo. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, we've been blessed to have two incredible fullbacks.
Well, that's the thing, you see. But you can still say, I think, you can still come out and say someone else was this, but again, yeah, greater minds than me have said many times that Cole was, he was different gravy, even though he played for, Chelsea and Arsenal, and he had he was going out with Cheryl Cole for a very long time. So if if you needed another reason to hate some guys,
or something,
no, it's if you needed another guy, it's like, wow, you've got everything, and then you went and got Cheryl Cole. Okay, if I didn't hate you before, I hate you now. But he was.
He's assistant of England now, isn't he?
Definitely.
You say it was Cheryl Crow, the singer?
No, Cheryl Cole, the girl from.
I just said Cheryl Crow. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think she's just called Cheryl now. She married the guy from One Direction. She married
Cheryl Crow
the guy
dated
from One Direction.
Lance Armstrong, I think, or something like that. That's what
Oh. Do you want to go for a bike ride, Cheryl? Here, just have a
Yeah,
drink of
there you
this.
go. I don't know about that one. But yeah, I get it. I get it. I guess I'm not gonna get we need the streets here to kind of help me out with trying to get Robbo put into this list. But I guess I'm not gonna be able to get that.
No,
one
Robbo's
over.
in the shout. Robbo's in the shout, you know. Robbo's there, definitely. You know?
He should be there. I think he should.
Yeah, he should be there.
No, he is. No, I was saying, does he get in the team? He's in the conversation.
Yeah.
You know, he's not getting turned away at the door. He's definitely in the, you know, the final mashup kind of thing. But hey, that these things, they shake out the way you want to do.
Yeah.
Hey, Dara. Yeah, exactly. They beat Girls Aloud the good old days, you know. Apparently, they're right back there.
What was that?
No, I was just in Girls Aloud. That Cheryl Cole, yeah. No, they were one of those. It was like the next version of Posh and Bex was Ashley Cole and the girl from Cheryl Cole. They were the celebrity couple. That was their main. That was the thing.
I'm trying to think of what years he did play. I don't know if Peter Schmeichel would make this. I don't know if he would make this list or not.
No, he's too early for the 21st
It's too early
century.
for it, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have we got something else? JK, I mean, you weren't here last night, but if you want to do a quick roundup on the fantasy football,
I got your moment to send.
about that.
I do have your moment to send.
I could do that for Monday when we can bring it in. 12, we can log in and do it. If that's cool.
Mm-hmm. That's my moment to send there. Big guy. Boss. Shining the shoes. I got you. Anyways. I love that picture, by the way.
Yeah.
But you're top JK, aren't you? You're top JK, aren't you?
Yeah, from the fantasy football, yeah.
Yeah. We're just
at the moment.
last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the moment. There's been some dramatic falls. Who was it that dropped from summer to 16th? Was that you, 12th man?
So what we could do like Monday before the quiz, I could do a quick thing about the fantasy football.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I won't. Lee, are you available Monday night to do the quiz? By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're sure, like Monday 7:30 to 9:30, that the usual?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Monday. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Right, that's all sorted. Then we've got 3 players. We've got JK Nolante, who I believe is.
That's gonna be a really good. That's gonna be a really good quiz.
So it's gonna be Lee versus JK versus Nolante. No teams, straight up. 12 pounds going to host. I'm going to ask the questions. Yeah, away we go. That's going to be great. That's going to be really good. Nice one. Sorted now.
There was something announced by the Premier League apparently. Real quick. I know we got like about 3 minutes left. It's not something you have to talk at length about, but they're going to be bringing in halftime interview with player or coach. They're going to interviews for players who are subbed off and dressing room broadcasts. The clubs will have to choose one of the 3 options listed above every week.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is like a little bit too much? I know they always want to give you more, they want to get you involved more and the likes,
Exactly, Pops. Exactly. We're going to play it straight.
Oh, yeah.
No more dilly-dallying.
No more betting what you don't have. I got you. Yeah.
No more madness. Yeah. But hey, look, it was fun.
Yeah, but real quick, do you think this is good for the league, Lee? Do you think this is good?
That's for me, like at the end of the day.
Go ahead, then we'll go to Lee. Go ahead, JK.
Just a quick thing, like my managers are in their mind is in a game from the first whistle, like even the day before the game, their mind is about the game tomorrow. So for me, getting a microphone chucked in your face at half time when you're 2-0 down at home is maybe great viewing for some fans, but for me, you don't need to do that. And I think, like, when you look at the bigger picture of football, anyway, they're ruining it. Where like I was on about to someone today about if you're not a captain of a team, you can't talk to the referee no more. Otherwise, you're gonna get a yellow card. That managers are getting yellow cards and red cards nowadays. So they're slowly trying to take out the passion of the players and the managers. Like I love when a manager's going mad on the side. You know, it adds a bit of fire to the game.
I
You know,
do, yeah.
but they're
Even when
taking
it's,
that away.
the manager of the opposition team to who you're
Yep.
playing, I still like to see them, showing the passion and the ones that go off their head and that, like, it adds to the excitement. But
Yeah, but yeah, for me, I like seeing that. As long as they're not sort of disrespectful, like swearing really bad, like to the ref. Yeah, I
yeah,
can understand that. But like for me, you cannot take the passion away from the game. You know, instead of like letting guys say anything during the game, they're going to put a microphone in the manager's face at half time. That's what they're doing there. You know,
Yeah.
so for me, it's a bit ridiculous, that one.
yeah, I'm not a fan of that really, because you're only halfway through the game. I mean, do you really want to interview them like halfway through the game? Okay, you can. No one's saying that you can't do it, but don't think it'd be that big a hit. Like, well, not with the managers anyway, who would be required to speak at half time.
And also, like the interview for players who are subbed off, they're going to be sulky, aren't they? So you don't. If you're watching,
I
Liverpool match,
know. That's probably the last
I don't
thing.
want to see
that's
that.
probably. I understand why they want to do that. Why the broadcast stations want to do that, because that's most likely when you're getting the player right at the heat of the moment type thing, and he'll probably say something that he probably shouldn't say, and they'll have headlines and they'll be the talk and everything else. Be like,
before the second half even kicks off, bro. Because as soon as it happens, straight away, social media, bang, everyone's going to be negative for the second half. Like for me, they're messing with football too much now. Like, who are these people making all these rules and stuff like that? They ain't got no. They've got a brain. They don't really watch football like a fan. They watch it in a way where they can piss
marketing
fans off.
executives.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Advertisers.
Yeah,
every year there's something else. Like
there always is something else. Yeah. They'll always be.
Like
They're always trying to tweak the package.
Yeah. When something's not broken, you don't need to fix it. You know, that's a saying and stuff. So for me, football is not broken, but these guys are breaking it now. VAR was the sort of big sign of that. You know, like who likes VAR? No one does.
I don't know how they're going to. I know most coaches don't want cameras in the dressing room. That
God.
I don't.
Sorry,
see that.
I missed this a little bit. Is this a question about interviewing managers at halftime, which I have seen before, or going into the dressing room at halftime? Is that
these are all three? All three of these things are things that the Premier League are going to be introducing.
Oh no!
And the club has to. The club will say the club. They'll be like, okay, which one of these three options do you want to go with? And they'll be like, oh, okay, well, I'll take you can interview me at halftime, or I'll let you interview Robbo at halftime, or something like that. Or they'll say, or they go with the option of, when the player gets subbed off, you can go talk. The player's getting subbed off, you can go talk to the player, and that'll be
but you're not
basically
letting the cameras in.
They're just trying to get interviews involved. They're trying to get some content.
Okay. But you're not. Is there an option where they're allowing the cameras into the dressing room at halftime?
Yeah, the dressing room broadcast.
No, that's wrong. No, that, like, as a players will always say, the dressing room is sacrosanct.
Yeah.
That's the one line you do not cross.
I'd imagine that if
these
things are coming in,
no way.
Yeah, that it'd be outside the dressing room. The coach would come out of the dressing room, and the substitution player would come out of the dressing room. I'd imagine, rather than being interviewed in there.
Yeah, maybe it's like they'll be waiting outside the dressing room and the door open, and then that player will be interviewed, or the coach will be interviewed from there.
Those two would be, but you can't have a camera in the dressing room at halftime live during the game.
You would think that would be the case.
No way. No, get out, man. This is the real shit. What's going on in here? So get out. You can do your camera bit afterwards, or if it's for a documentary, it will come out eight months later. There might be cameras in there filming for a documentary, but it's not going out live. They can. This is crazy shit. Like, I've seen them do it. They did it last year. I'm not sure what channel it was, but they had it was clear. I think it was BT. And when the manager was coming back out, you could tell they were obliged to do like an interview with them on the touchline, and they were saying, "Oh, what about the subs you've made?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a bit weird. They don't usually do that." So that was obviously a kind of a dry run for this kind of shit.
Mhm.
You know, like to get the man. Like I would imagine most people would say, okay, if the option is let the cameras in the dressing room, interview a player who's just been subbed off, or interview the manager, it's just going to be interview the manager. Just send the manager up because he won't. You know, you're not
Well,
letting him in the
this,
dressing
yeah,
room.
I
And he'll
can
be able
agree.
to handle it the most professionally, you know,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10. Or if it's maybe Virgil got subbed off because he has a bang on the knee, cool, give it to him because it'll just be a no nonsense interview. But you're not going to give it to someone who's gone off in a strop or something like that. So I'd imagine 9 times out of 10 it would just be, yeah, look, let the manager talk for 30 seconds, saying, "Oh, yeah,
I understand possibly why they are, and Trap Joe is true. Like here in America, like as in, it's kind of weird for like basketball, for instance. They'll like, it'll be, there's 4 quarters in basketball. It'll be the end of the quarter or something like that, or not halftime, but it'll be like the end of the quarter, and there'll be a reporter talking to the head coach or something.
Yeah, I've seen it. They just walk up and stick microphones in the face.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
And it's
He's
like weird because
"Game's
you would
going
think
on."
that moment and that time would be a position where, or a time when you would be able to, like, you know,
Nobody wants
coach would be with the team, not necessarily.
Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. Just leave them alone. Once the game kicks off, just leave them alone and talk to them afterwards. You know, you don't need these endless
Exactly,
sound
bro.
bites.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't helping them win games, having cameras in their faces
Exactly.
and ask questions.
Yeah.
Just leave them alone. 2 hours, play the game, questions afterwards. What's wrong with that? All the access you want afterwards.
Before we bounce, I want to say this too. Happy birthday to Shaq. Shaqiri it's his birthday today.
Power Cube. The Power Cube.
Yeah. And there was apparently there was, let me make sure I get this on here correctly. There was Slot was apparently had a reaction to you know, the news of Virgil van Dijk. Make sure, see if I can share this tab for you guys here. We'll check here. There was news that I guess they put a microphone in front of Slot, or not a microphone, excuse me, put a actual camera for Slot. This is kind of crazy to see too, by the way, because I didn't expect for him to react like this. But let me bring this up. This is exclusive coverage, apparently, of Arnie Slot. So here we go. Let me bring it up. And now you guys are all on your feet. So apparently this is he's heard about it. Seems to be happy about it. So, you know, there you go. He's happy to have his guys back. No injuries. Yeah. Get a little something. Get a little something. I didn't know he's done a little bit of like that little like 2-step or something.
Jiggy with it.
I was like, okay.
Getting jiggy with it.
Getting jiggy with it. Yeah, he was definitely getting jiggy with it.
I think it'll be a real test, won't it, Chelsea, when we come back? But with it being a big game, that might help, mightn't it? Because we were flat when we come back from the last break, weren't we? At home to Forest. But obviously, like, he'll have that in mind this time, you know, and he'll say to them, won't he, you know, make sure you start the game, you know, start the game when the whistle goes, don't start the game half an hour after.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that, with it being a big game, that we can get one. It'll be a tough game, I think. It'll be a really tight game, I think, because they look all right, don't they? They've started the season well. And they're going to bring that to Anfield with them, aren't they? So it'll be a tight game, I think.
I think we'll do that.
I can understand why he's making those dance moves. I can understand why he's got those dance moves kicking and move. I'm hoping to see him doing those dance moves when Chelsea come to Anfield.
Like the other day, I seen it. Virgil got a red card, and I was like, oh,
then I realized he ain't going to play the game against Germany on Monday. So I thought blessing in disguise, you know. Yeah,
it is.
He's already back in the building. He's already back.
He's probably chilling now, so all good. He's got like 4 or 5 days, 6 days until the game, you know. So it's all good. Actually, even longer, bro. How long we got now? So Saturday, 8 days until the game. So there you go. So he can chill, get his energies back. That's cool. I'm happy they sent him back as well. I didn't like let him stay there longer and stuff, because I think Virgil's the type of guy we take it for granted that he plays every game, and like the way he's still playing is for me like the best centre back in the Premier League history. You know, even though this season he's been great again. So for me, any chance he gets to rest,
you can say the same for Salah too, brother. You can say the same for Salah. I mean, like considering that he's obviously getting a lot more of the running going on. So yeah.
Is Salah back? I heard something like this.
As long as he's come. That's the thing. He's come back as well, but we can't find out a definite answer on why. Now we're assuming it's because they've already qualified. It's against Mauritania. It's away. I mean, that's no shade, but like that's barely a country. Mauritania used to be called Western Sahara. It's literally just it's a strip of desert like on the coast. So they probably don't have the world's best facilities.
No,
so like
not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, you said earlier on they're 9 points clear.
I'm glad to see they're doing that though, because especially it sucks when you have to go and try to fight in those. Like if that was something where they were fighting for their spot, and they would have to go to a place like that where the pitch is horrible and the likes. It's not fun settings at all.
Yeah, like literally no disrespect to the country of Mauritania. I'm just saying it's not a highly developed country. It's really just isn't at all. I mean, it's incredibly interesting. Look it up on the map. It's very beautiful. But yeah, you don't want people going out there playing on these things when they're already 9 points clear in a fucking
yeah. That's why they sent him back, bro.
No need for it. No need whatsoever. Yeah. So we've already got VVD back, Virgil back. So now you've got 2 people, or VVD and Salah. So you've got 2 people now that slot as an extra like 8 days to just go out on the pitch and go, look, not so much I want you to do this, but look, this is what the idea is. This is what we're going to be doing. I've got you, Virgil, especially for 8 days. Look, this is what we're going to be doing. This is more time than he probably had with them in preseason. He only had 3 or 4 days with some of them in preseason. He'll have a load of time to impart his ideas there, get everything across.
Yep.
And hopefully
sort his contracts out as well.
Yeah,
both of them.
That's the other thing. Yes, that's the other thing. That is the other thing. Yeah. Let's get some ink on some paper,
Yeah, no, it's good to see. I'm glad to see it because again, from our Reds perspective, I'm glad to see it. And like I said, you know what? This guy right here,
international breaks working in our favor, right?
Yeah, there you go.
International breaks are working in our favor. They normally go away in good form and come back broken. Now, that's a handy little suspension for Virgil, by the way. Nice one. Thanks for that. And Mo comes back, no injury. Nice one.
Exactly.
I'll take that.
Hopefully he can do
coming back with 2 months out. Bullshit.
He could do his version of Rick Astley or something like that. And say, "Never going to give you up" or something. Maybe he can say that to them. That's what these moves look like, by the way. I think they might be.
He is the wrong base. He is. Look.
That two-step there is good. I like it. But who knows? Never going to give you up. Hopefully we say that. Hopefully we can say that to Trent. We can say that to Mo. We can say that to VVD. Never going to give you up. I'm not singing that song, by the way, Bernie. If that's what you're about to ask. But yes, big up for everyone for joining us. We're going to allow for you to enjoy the rest of your evening if you are over on the other side of the pond, or wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Croatia or whether it's trying to think some other places that we reach. I know we reach Ethiopia. I've had people contact me from there. Australia, whether it's like America, obviously, or Germany, all the different countries that we represent. Ireland, obviously, England. I wish that you guys have a great evening, great Saturday evening. It's 8 days and counting, people. 8 days and counting.
Singapore.
2 days and counting for the big quiz on Monday, by the way. So keep in mind for that. And
yeah, I think MK2 was in Singapore, Malaysia, so we got those people too.
Absolutely.
We got them out there.
Singapore
Worldwide. Good to see, man.
Good to see.
Southeast
I
Asia.
like that. I like the fact that we are worldwide because the Reds are worldwide, and it shows that our global reach is doing the same on YouTube. So so if anyone wants to pick up their dance moves or learn, maybe ask
Rick.
I always call him Rick there. Yeah.
That's Rick if he's gonna give it up.
Rick. Who's Rick?
Ricky,
Right.
our Ricky here, yeah, aka Arnie Slot. For some dance moves, you're more than welcome. Hopefully we get to see him and the boys do that against Chelsea in 8 days. So we shall see. But we'll have more updates tomorrow. We'll do some news tomorrow, I'm sure, or something along those lines. Also, we'll definitely get you guys ready and ready for that Monday quiz. And we also have a couple other shows that I want to get into that are, some fun shows to do. So
Lee, don't we this is one we did in your absence. It was an idea we haven't come up with yet, but it's one you will absolutely love. It's the Premier League most punchable 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We got to do that one.
Yeah. Just think Anthony Gordon, and we're off. Yeah, you already know.
Yeah, you're off and flying.
We haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Lead that like Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
Rodri and Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo Silva, 100%.
Let's not give away too many of the early favorites for the candidates at 11.
Yeah, get your 11s. We're going to do that. The Premier League's most punchable 11. Yeah.
Okay,
Bruno's
we'll do the right team. That'd be cool.
Bruno's certainly in there. That's definitely going to be one of those. But yes, big up to each and every one of you. Thank you to the panel. I was going to say, you guys want to say anything real quick to the people before we allow for them to go? Lee, do you want to say something to the people before?
Thanks everyone. Thanks for being here. Good to see you again. See you again.
Yeah, definitely. JK?
Yeah, I just want to say nice one for the chat. Bless everyone who was in the chat as well. And also, Joel Matip retired today, I heard.
Yeah.
So, best wishes to him. He can chill, enjoy his life now. And have a good evening, everyone.
Irishman?
Exactly that. Thanks for being here. Hopefully see you again tomorrow. We're nearly, if someone is here who hasn't liked, oh no, we did. We hit 20. Brilliant. We hit 20 likes. That's brilliant. We've been way above the ratio all night. And by that, I mean, we've had like more likes than viewers all night, which is really, really good. So thanks for coming in, and hopefully see you again tomorrow. And there was something I meant to say. Oh yeah. No, it's brilliant to see and have Lee back. So
yes, absolutely. We're excited, and also I thought you were going to announce that you're going to show us your dance moves, actually, Brian. So we all had our fingers crossed, but it's all good. It's all good.
Not yet.
Not yet. But, all right. We'll
win the
see
league
you guys.
title, you might see it.
Yeah. I don't know. You might not want to see it. You might not want to see it. But
moves like Jagger, right? Moves like Jagger and all that. Yeah.
There you go. Big up to each and every one of you. We will see you on the flip. We'll see you on tomorrow, and again Monday as well. So we'll see you tomorrow. Hope that you guys have a great day. And as always, as I like to say, and I make a point to say, up the Reds, people. Up the Reds. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.